Hello again. Well, this time you join me in my little holiday cottage in the county of Suffolk. Now, those of you who watch my videos will know that I spend a lot of time in East Anglia. It's become my second home. And this time I'm in the little village of Bordsey, and it's a place I've never been to before and I'm looking forward to exploring. I'm just a stone's throw from the beach, where I've been told there's something very interesting to see. Now, it's a lovely day, well, for late February, although it's quite windy. I'm sure it'll be very windy the closer I get to the sea. So without further ado, I'll finish my coffee. Please join me on the beach. Okay, I'm heading for the beach, where I'm going to explore the remnants of the Bordsey Coastal Defence Battery built during the Second World War. And here's an information board. It basically tells you that there's been coastal defences here since the Napoleonic Wars, and the area is threatened by coastal erosion. But I'll tell you more as we explore. Always very comforting to hear the seagulls, I think. Now, the Bordsey Coastal Battery was commissioned in 1940, and we are walking to one of the two gun emplacements. Get up and have a better view. Now it's very windy up here, so I must apologise. I hope you can hear me okay. Now, there was a massive 6-inch gun mounted here. Now, of course, 6-inch refers to the calibre and not to the actual size of the gun, which of course would be ridiculous. Now, due to erosion, 2 searchlight emplacements have been lost to the sea. Also, many of the pillboxes have gone. There is another gun emplacement further along, and the two are linked by a passageway allowing access to 2 of the ammunition rooms. So let's see if the passage is still accessible. Very muddy, slippy. We have the ubiquitous graffiti. As you can see, the passageway is flooded, so I'm going to walk to the second gun emplacement. By 1942, the possibility of an invasion had somewhat diminished, so apart from 1 officer and 7 regular gunners, the battery was manned by the Home Guard, and it closed at the end of the war in Europe in the spring of 1945. Hitler's failure to defeat the RAF prevented a full-scale invasion of Britain. However, there are dark rumours that a small German invasion force landed at Shingle Street, a hamlet near Orford Ness, just a few miles from here. Here we have another relic from the Second World War. The line of iron stakes in the surf are known as Dragon's Teeth. They were used to block enemy tanks, and landmines were often laid between the teeth. You get a nasty shock swimming here. Over the top of this bank is a Martello Tower. Now, I've always been fascinated with Martello Towers ever since I read the description of one in an M.R. James ghost story called The Warning to the Curious. You can probably see the tower in the distance. They were small defensive forts built during the Napoleonic Wars. When the French threatened to invade the south of England, a chain of 103 Martello towers were built from Suffolk to Sussex. But, like the German invasion of the Second World War, thankfully, it never happened. The sun is out and the wind has dropped, and I'm now at Shingle Street, located on a quiet stretch of the Suffolk coastline. But according to some, back in the dark days of the Second World War, this stretch of coastline was far from peaceful. Now, according to local legend, during the Second World War, a small German invasion force landed here, but they were driven back into the water where they were burned alive with a mixture of petrol and oil pumped onto the surface of the sea, and the whole of this coastline was awash with their burning bodies, and that the whole incident was hushed up. The failed invasion allegedly took place in August 1940, just 2 months after the residents of Shingle Street had been evacuated and the beach had been laid with mines. Over the decades, there has been numerous conspiracy theories about what actually occurred here, from secret chemical bomb testing resulting in the deaths of British troops to the aforementioned failed Nazi invasion with burning bodies washed up on the beach. So what actually happened here at Shingle Street? A secret wartime dossier on the incident, originally set to be made public in 2021, was opened in 1992 following pressure from the public. The documents revealed very little other than the military had requisitioned Shingle Street and laid mines on the beach. With no official documentation, not surprisingly, many suspected a cover-up. Some sources believe the incident was merely a propaganda stunt manufactured by a journalist called Sefton Delmar, who was head of Britain's Black Propaganda Unit. The misinformation was designed to boost the morale of the British public. However, author and historian James Haywood spent years investigating the various stories and concluded there was no evidence for an attempted Nazi invasion. Today Shingle Street is better known for the Shingle Street line, a line made up of over 20,000 shells stretching for more than 275 metres along the beach. It was started by two friends in 2005 as a memorial to their shared experience of cancer treatment. Here's something you don't see every day. This is a dogfish. Now I do know that they are related to sharks, but I couldn't tell you what species of dogfish this is. Well, as usual, if you have made it this far, then thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you've enjoyed these tales of history and mystery from the town of Bordsey in Suffolk. And hopefully I'm going to enjoy the rest of my holidays. But I'm not going to bring you along on that one. So, for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again next time.